Yo, what's up, DJ Merv J here. I am in the building with the one and only Soca Boss,
Why?
also known as DJ Gel. What's up?
Where's the scene all there?
Yeah, so we're here, man. We before we even get into the mixes, the events, the boat ride, and all the stuff that you're doing right now, man. Let's start in the beginning. Like where are you from, first and foremost?
Um, New York based. New York raised as well.
Right.
Spent some time in Trinidad, Cuba, Sancho to be exact. It's also where my parents are from. But I'm a New Yorker, technically, just with a Trin Begonian accent.
Right. So, DJ wise, who are some of your influences? Coming up.
So there's 4 instrumental DJs who I've looked up to always. I guess starting with the first one, you guys will know them, DJ Spice and
Big up DJ Spice.
the Team Soca crew.
Right.
I listen to a lot of Spices, mixes, and radio sessions growing up. DJ Tony Tempo, who's based out of New York now, but in the past Atlanta. He also used to do a radio show that I used to listen to a lot. After that, there's Dr. J, the Soca Prince out of Toronto. He does a show called Soca Therapy, which I listened to a lot growing up, and that's when I really fell in love with soca music because of all the varied styles he used to play on his show. And last but not least, the most recent, DJ Private Ryan.
Yes, big up DJ Private Ryan. I wanted to ask you about you said some of your influences and people that you've worked with. I don't think we got to that yet, but Travis World,
Mm-hmm.
good friend of yours.
Legendary producer.
Right. Born legend, right? It was in his DNA.
Yes.
But you guys are like actually friends.
Yes.
Right. And it's like you watch your IG stories, y'all hanging out, just walking down the block, and this man produces songs for Marshall, for Bungie, for just big artists. I mean, like, how did that relationship come about?
So, as we mentioned earlier, like I've been doing this since 2009. So, funny story, Travis also started in 2009 when it came to DJing. So, a lot of people don't know that, but before he was a producer, he was a DJ.
Right.
Him and I, we had the same passion for soca music. We would talk about soca, not only from Trinidad, but from the other islands. We actually used to host a weekly radio show streaming online on, those Ustream and those other...
Ustream.
the early streaming days.
Right.
So every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, myself, Travis World, Chris Kennedy, who works on Slam in Trinidad, who's also an artist, Young Risen, and a few other people from Trinidad and across the diaspora. We used to do like weekly radio shows. So on the weekends we'd stream for 2 hours, do our show, and then come back.
Okay, so when did you feel like, okay, there's a breakthrough here? People are starting to give me recognition and recognize what I'm doing.
So I would say around 2011, 2012,
Right.
there were a few family members who went down to Trinidad for Carnival and other events, so like Diwali, Easter, and they all over Trinidad, my mixes were playing like in the gyms, the supermarkets, restaurants, and me just being based in New York, granted like I used to go to Trinidad all the time, very often, it was... no one knew who I was in Trinidad, but they knew the mixes. So that's when I said, okay, what I'm doing is working, and, just continue to grind and work at it.
Was there like any times you felt like quitting?
Definitely, of course. The thing with this DJ industry, it's very cutthroat. And for anyone who's young coming up, you'll realize how competitive it is, especially here in New York and even in Trinidad and Tobago. Like, if you don't have good networking skills or if you don't have a link, you're not going to get through in this industry. So despite everything, you have to know how to cut out the noise, and that's kind of what I did. I found a different avenue to get through that most people didn't take. And most importantly, you need to have a lot of patience.
Right.
So I exercised that patience as much as I could. 10 years, as you see.
Yeah.
And is only now starting to pay off.
it's hard to get stems
Right.
for a lot of, especially in the soca industry. I mean, for any upcoming DJ who wants that access, how would they go? How would they go about the right way getting stems?
Right. So first and foremost, for the non-producers and non-DJs or non-industry people watching, stems is like a package of different tracks. So you'll have like your instrumental track, you'll have like the keys, the background vocals, the regular vocals, which are usually make like an acapella, the guitar, any instruments or any like things that make up a track or a song will be in that, will be in a little package. Now, in terms of getting it, as you said, it's very controversial.
Right.
You'd either have to like contact a producer or an artist to get it. And most times you should have like an idea of what you want to do with it, whether you want to do a remix or a road mix or an intro or something for like a commercial or an ad. You should know what you want these stems for.
Right.
That being said, you can also get in trouble. So times where I've had to ask for stems from producers or artists, they'd have me sign like a non-disclosure agreement or an NDA, because ultimately you need permission to have these stems. But that being said, like in terms of refixes and remixes and stuff, like I would make 1 or 2 for the season, but I put those into the hands of the producers that I trust. So if I have an idea, I will go to them and they will, get these stems and sort out everything.
Right, and just have patience as well. It's 2020 now, right? It's 2020, and as we all know, 2019 to me in my lifetime listening to soca.
Your lifetime?
Yeah.
2015 not there?
Yeah, right behind it. By right behind it.
Oh, so 2019 is on top.
Yeah. 2019 is on top.
Good
because it started strong and it finished strong. 2015 did too.
I was about to say there's some bangers in 2015.
Yeah. Maybe you need to do a 2015 mix just to bring back that nostalgic, you know what I'm saying? Bring that, you know what I mean?
Something's coming this year. I'm
Okay.
not going to say what,
right.
but something is definitely coming this year.
All right, cool. So, being that 2019 was a great year in soca music, this year people are now really pressing. They're like, man, I don't hear Family. I don't hear Savannah Grass. Should they have more patience?
Well, as someone who analyzes the soca on a separate platform, I'll tell you that there's a factor of things people need to keep in mind. First and foremost, you mentioned the Savannah Grass versus the Family. They're not hearing any hits. Artists and producers, like every year, the soca music is different, defined by different sounds and different songs. Sometimes they don't want to recreate a Family or a Savannah Grass. Like, you wouldn't say that there was a Savannah Grass in 2015 and 2016 and 2017. Each season is different. Right. The other thing to keep in mind is that a lot of people, in terms of Trinidad soca anyway, because we're still early in the year and have other islands to release.
Very
early. At least when we're filming this. They look to Marsha Montano as like the savior of soca music. And granted, he is the king of soca and probably one of my favorite artists. If he has an off year, he's allowed to have an off year. You should not judge the soca based on what Marsha Montano comes out with, because it have other artists like Cass, Bungie, Preety, Hey Choppy, who has a song called Captain, which isn't getting much love, Cohen Dubois. All these other songs don't get the rotation that it needs. Now, one thing I will say there's a little bit of truth of is the producers in terms of how they release. The strategy of how some of the releases were for this year was horrendous. 1 million rhythms for the season. It's not really 1 million, but it's like maybe 200-300 rhythms that come out already for Trinidad Carnival.
900 songs that we have to go through.
Yeah, but there's not enough singles. I don't know if it's that the artists didn't have money for singles. Like, there's not enough.
Right.
And the rhythms weren't even like, I don't want to bash anyone or any of the producers because I know they put in a lot of hard work, but sometimes it's okay to hold back rhythms. It's okay to shelf rhythms, and you have to consider like the quality you're bringing out. Not everyone needs to put out a very slow soca rhythm when you could put out a fast one or a mid-tempo. Like this year, there's a lot of mid-tempo soca missing.
Are we talking like 115, 16 BPM?
We're talking like 128. I call this a sweet spot.
That's a sweet spot.
128 to like 139, 140.
Right. Okay. Got you.
So that's why their promoter is such a big song right now.
Once a Trinity Virginia vet is niceness.
It's a 128,
And it's in the pocket too.
Yeah, it's a single,
Yeah.
and it's patriotic, and it's well written. Some of the other songs that came up on Rhythms, like, it's good, it's radio stuff, but people are making music for the parties.
Right.
But all that said, just keep in mind there are a lot of songs too that need to be sold as the hits. Last year I saw that with Zigzag by Lyrical and Pandemonium by Natty and Thunder and Voice. At first, they were mixed reviews, but after a while, when it played on the road, when DJs and MCs introduced it into the fets, it became hits. And you just have to be patient with the music too. There's a lot of good music out for Trinidad Carnival 2020 that is not playing. And I don't know if the artists need to do a better job in marketing or the DJs need to do a better job in researching the songs, but there's a lot of good music.
Right. It's a combination of all three.
Yeah.
All right, so give me three of your favorite up and coming artists.
All right.
Yeah.
Definitely Nyla Blackman.
Right.
She has the package, the style, the look that will make her succeed in the mainstream world. After that is Vaughn out of Grenada.
Yeah.
He's the next one who his talents in terms of how he's able to dance and stage performance at such a young age, because he's in his 20s, he's around my age.
Right.
Vaughn is one to watch.
Right.
And Preety, I think, is one of the most underrated young artists, and his music and like the messages in his music and how he's able to create diverse content, from like a whining song to a love song to something that's about politics. I think that he brings a different kind of sound that the youths are looking for.
Top 3 songs out right now that you're like, man, I can't wait to play this when I hit the Fed.
So Dear Promoter by Voice and Cass,
yes,
which you spoke about earlier. Feel the Love by Freetown Collective and Private Ryan.
Right.
And Stink Face by Kerwin Dubois.
Your boat ride. I want to talk about that.
Just So.
Yeah, Just So. Which I'm sorry. Are you doing it this year?
Of course.
Okay.
It'll be in July. Please God.
Okay. Okay.
It's an annual event that really came out of what the name represents. So, for you guys that don't know, Just So is a Caribbean slang where something just happens just out the blue. And this is kind of what this boat ride was about. I was approached to doing one because, it's time to expand the brand, and this was like 2-3 years ago. And, I said, this came out of nowhere. So we'll just call it Just So, because I always like to brand things in terms of, heritage and my identity. And as a Trinbagonian, that's just one word that encompasses me and what I use all the time. Like if you were to drop your phone on the ground just now, it'd be like, Just So. So that's where that came from. Right. It allowed me to expand my love for Caribbean culture, meaning the music and the food, the two things that I love the most, in an atmosphere where people could just enjoy themselves and experience the culture.
And real quick, I want you to just talk about the Soca Analysts. Tell people more about that you do as well.
Okay, so I co-own a platform called the Soca Analysts, and what it is, it's a group of 5 people roughly. It's a media platform where we talk about soca music and Caribbean culture.
Right.
What is this scene over there? It is the Soca Analysts.
There's a podcast that we host. There's videos that we do. There's a site that has articles on it about soca music. Mm-hmm. Some resources that are there for new artists. So if you need advice on some of the mistakes that you may make in the industry, or how to market yourself, or anything, you can find it on there.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
The 5 years question.
Yeah, the 5-year question.
I definitely see myself doing more events, spreading soca music to the globe outside of where I am now. Granted, I've played in places like Sydney, Australia, London. There's so many different avenues where soca music still exists. I'm hoping that I'm one of those instrumental people that makes it a recognized genre on Apple Music, iTunes, those places. But
speak it into existence.
Gotta speak it into existence.
Right.
But I probably would like to do some consulting for artists. I think that in our industry there's a lot of room for growth.
Right.
And the way I see it right now is that a lot of these artists, no offense to who's out right now, but a lot of them are lost. And it's not necessarily their fault, but no one has really shown them a way in terms of how to do things when it comes to like distribution. A lot of the managers that are out there, at least in Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean, their main role as managers is to get bookings.
Gotcha.
But no one talks about the distribution, the image, how to sell your songs, stage for all these things. I want to be that person as well. And there's nothing wrong with, DJing and doing other things to help the industry.
Right. Well, hey, you heard it here first. Merv J, DJ Gel, the Soca Boss. Thank you for being a part. they don't know the work we put in, but it's here. All right.
Yes.
Oh, tell them where they can contact you. Where can they stay in contact
Definitely.
with you?
For any of the mixes and stuff, you could stream it on SoundCloud, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music at Gel in the Mix. If you want to download the mixes, gelinthemix.com. You could follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok at Gel in the Mix. And if you want to book me, gelinthemix@gmail.com. So if you ever forget, everything is at Gel in the Mix. I made it easy for everybody.
Everything. All right, guys, we are out of here till next time. Merv J, DJ Gel,
Big
DJ
up.
Blue Fire behind the camera. All right, we out of here. Peace.
Bless.